morning, everybody. Got a lot going on. Thanks for joining me for the work week forecast. We're obviously going to focus first and most exclusively on the storm that's happening later today through tonight into tomorrow. A pretty significant snowstorm for us here in Southern Vermont, although not as significant as some places over the Northeast are going to get. So I'm sure you've seen huge snowfall totals on some places or heard about totals of 20 to 30 inches. I think those are going to occur. They're not going to occur in Southern Vermont, although we're going to get plenty of snow, probably close to a foot, over a foot for a bunch of us. Even the places that get a little skunked out by this one will get probably at least 8 or 9 inches of snow out of this. So big storm. We're not in the jackpot, I don't think, on this one. That's okay. We've been in the jackpot a bunch this winter already, and this will still be a nice substantial storm to add to. The skiing will just be it's already in very good shape. This will just enhance that. So on the surface map, what's going on? We have our primary old low pressure system is dying over western PA, West Virginia, and has spawned a new surface low that is just off the coast of Delaware currently. This storm is going to crawl up the coast, and the reason it's going to crawl up the coast is going to be because this high pressure system is very much locked in place. It's a pretty strong high pressure system. You can see it. It's kind of bending over. It's kind of like a boomerang that the low pressure system is trying to go right through. And when there's a high pressure system there, it takes a long time to kind of advance through that system. And so, particularly, not so much on satellite, you can see that happening on satellite. And you can see our storm is really just starting to develop. We've got just starting to come together here. And obviously, we've got some high clouds out in front as we start to move the warm air advection off the coast. But storm is just starting to come together. Got a long ways to go. This will look very impressive on radar certainly by this time tomorrow. The storm will be just off the probably be just off the southeast tip of Long Island, and it'll be wrapped up well into a nice comma shape, well-developed storm by that time. Radar-wise, you can see what's happening. It looks like precipitation should almost be getting into Southern Vermont already. We're not going to start snowing for at least probably 2 to 4 p.m. in Southern Vermont today. And I'm going to show you in a minute why that's going to happen, why it's going to take so long for that to happen. But you can see we're starting to get a lot of this feathering happening in the radar echoes here over eastern PA and over some of New Jersey. That's a sign that the storm is undergoing rapid cyclogenesis, we would call it at this point, and really starting to develop quickly. One of the reasons we're not going to get as much snow up here as they're going to get, say, in northwestern New Jersey and in northern PA, has to do with the storm is going to be kind of in a mature phase by the time we really get into the snowfield. And actually, the heaviest precipitation happens when the storm is developing. We'll see like moderate to heavy snow clips tonight. I think we'll get we might have to go through an hour. We get 1.5 inches of snow an hour. But the places that have the chance to get those 3 to 4 inch snow falls per hour are going to be down here across the Mid-Atlantic, kind of like I said, the hilly terrain in northwestern New Jersey and across the Poconos and things like that, and even into the Catskills. And we'll probably get into some of those heavy bands. And that's where you really need to be if we want to get to get those 20 to 30 inch totals. But for us, we're not going to quite get into that heavy snow, but we'll still get plenty of snow out of the storm. Why is this happening? Oops, I got to switch the view over here. Temperatures has a lot to do with this, and these actually don't do justice. Let me see if I can scroll that in one more and see if we can't get some more temperatures to pop up. Of course, now they were showing earlier. There we go. You can see that over southern Vermont here, we are pretty cold, particularly in the valley locations. There's still some cold air, particularly at the lowest, or some dense cold, dry air stuck at the lowest elevations. I was actually 3 below zero this morning at my house, so I am right down in the valley by the West River. So a lot of places going to be are still got a ways to go, and dew points are still low. So we've got this cold, dry air. It's going to take a while to push the moisture in on top of that. That is, however, happening. So let's take a quick look at why that's happening. This is a look at obviously a computer-generated approximation, but of what the winds are doing in the low levels of the atmosphere. And you can kind of see with our two storms here, the storm is transferring its energy, and this storm on the coast, it's really drawing energy from the Atlantic and starting to dump it onto the coast. But you can see so far where that's really happening. It's starting to happen over northern New England, but that's happening. The river of moisture is really happening well to our south at this point. And it's going to take a while of dumping this moisture in to moisten the lower levels of the atmosphere so that we can actually get the snow to get started here in southern New England. Haven't changed really any of my forecasts. I think the forecast from yesterday is still pretty solid, but if you haven't seen these maps yet, I think most of us see kind of a general 6 to 12 inches of snow, but if you want some more details, kind of you could get shadowed a little bit west of the Greens, kind of up in the like the southern part of the Champlain Valley in Rutland County, and I think also you could get shadowed a little bit if you get in northern parts of Windsor County from kind of on the west side of the White and the Monadnock Range. Kind of typical shadowed spots. Most of Windsor and Rutland County, though, see 6 to 10 inches of snow, with the spine of the Greens here getting kind of 10 to 16 inches of snow. Most of Windsor and most of Windham and Bennington County probably looking at more like 8 to 12 inches of snow, with 12 to 16 inches for kind of the very southern Greens, so places like Mount Snow, the ski areas basically in southern Vermont. So Mount Snow, Stratton, probably even Bromley gets into that 12 to 16 inches accumulations, I would think. Whereas the snow, so like Killington and Okemo, still getting plenty of snow. They're more in like the 10 to 16 inch range. Wouldn't be surprised to see some of the like a Stratton or a Mount Snow get closer to 18 inches of snow. Those high peaks tend to squeeze out a little bit more moisture, so a good dumping of snow, not the crazy snow totals that they're going to see south of us. Just on details, storm starts by mid-afternoon, probably 2 to 4 p.m. today, and then accumulation. Most of the snow happens overnight tonight. It's going to be powdery, so no power outages should be a problem. Just want to remind you that if you want to get all my, I'll give you the work week forecast in a second. But first, if you haven't subscribed to my channel before, I would encourage you to subscribe. It helps you get all my videos, and it helps you to make sure you don't miss any of my videos when they come out. And you can, especially if you want to get notifications, like a push notification on your phone, ring the bell. There's a little bell next to the subscribe button, and that'll give you allow you to get notifications. For the rest of the week, weather quiets down quite a bit, although the snow flurries could hold on through Wednesday, but then we get into this brief ridge. Basically on Thursday, we'll have sunny weather on Thursday with then some clouds approaching from our next storm, which is still way a hair off the west coast. That's going to race through mostly as a front, and it looks like snow with maybe a chance that we're going to mix with some precipitation. It won't be a big event, but although we could see some light accumulations, travel could be a little tricky on Friday. We'll have to keep an eye on that, and there's a long ways to go. So what does that look like in terms of details? Here's the work week forecast. I'm not going to go through it too. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm not going to go through it too extensively. But yeah, basically we're looking at great days to ski on Wednesday and Thursday, where we more sun on Thursday, but both days are not too cold, in the mid-20s, and then near 30 on Thursday. And Friday, like I said, we'll have to keep an eye on that storm as we get closer. Otherwise, thanks for joining me, and I want to say a quick thank you to my patrons who help support what I do. If you want to get one of the things you get as a patron is on Wednesdays I do a weekend forecast for the patrons, exclusive for the patrons, and they also have opportunities to ask questions and things like that a little more extensively. And so yeah, thanks to them for the ways that they support the channel. And I'll be back certainly on Friday morning with a weekend forecast, but I'll probably be back before that with a look at Friday's storm once we get through this storm today. So follow social media. I'm sure I'll be sending out messages all the time about the storm today and snow totals and things like that. So, and if you got pictures or things, feel free to post them to my Facebook page particularly, and let me know how much snow you're getting. All right, thanks for joining me, and we'll be back again on Friday.